name is Erin St Blaine, and thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. I wanted to just do a quick video to introduce myself. I'm an artist and a maker, and I make a lot of things that light up and glow. I make a lot of costumes, and I also do a lot of home decor and artwork. So I thought maybe the best way to introduce myself was to show you a little bit around my house and show off some of the artwork that I've made in the last couple of years. Let's go. This is my LED resin river table. It's made from live edge walnut and epoxy resin, and it took a very long time to pour because this is my first large-scale epoxy resin project. It has about 180 neopixel LEDs underneath, and it's got a one-way mirror that is actually assisting with the diffusion and bouncing off the bottom of the resin to make the whole entire thing glow. And I'm really proud of how the diffusion came out on this table. It has a color shifting rainbow that just slowly shifts through the rainbow all the time, and it is the most delightful place to have breakfast. And this is my crystal wall. I'm really into these crystals. So when COVID hit and I was stuck at home all by myself for weeks and weeks, I designed and made all of these paper craft crystals. They're made from laminated cellophane wrap, so gift wrap that you might get at the craft store, just ran through a laminating machine. And I have 3 different designs, probably 4 or 5 different designs, that I folded each individual crystal. Each crystal takes like 5 or 10 minutes to make, and it took me months and months to get all these crystals folded. If you sign up for my mailing list, then I will give you a free PDF download of these crystal patterns so you can make your own at home, and they are just delightful. And this is my crystal chandelier. It's got a laser cut frame with 21 paper craft crystals hanging from it, and about 500 LEDs total. The cool thing about this chandelier is that it knows the weather. So it's got a Wi-Fi enabled chip in it, which is working on the coding right now in order to hook it up to a weather feed so that when it's sunny outside, I can play a sunshine animation, or when there's a thunderstorm, I can play a thunderstorm animation. And I also want to do things like have a sunset and sunrise animation that play every day, and maybe play some fireworks on New Year's Eve. So the art on the wall behind me is my vertical garden moss barometer. I went out and collected all the moss myself and preserved it, and have a LED strip running around each panel, which is actually mapping weather data. I have a barometric pressure sensor in there, and the barometric pressure is visualized on the panel in different colors. And I have different areas on the moss to show change in color, change in pressure over time. So the center section shows current pressure, and then the upper and lower third show 3 hours old data, and the very top and bottom show 6 hours old data, so that I can see how the pressure's changing over time. The reason I would want to do this is because changes in barometric pressure will help you predict the weather. You can know if there's a thunderstorm coming or if it's going to be a sunny day. And I figured that moss is such a cool little plant that it needed a superpower. And this is my Mermaid Castle. It's made from recycled glass bottles with a strip of neopixels underneath that light them all up. And each glass bottle is actually topped with a little clay creation of octopuses and starfish and seashells. And the clay is mixed 50-50 with graphite powder. Now the graphite powder actually makes the clay into a capacitive touch sensor. It makes it conductive. So when I touch the bottles on the top, each bottle will play a note and light up, and I can play the whole castle like a musical instrument. This is my oak tree. It is a full-size oak tree sculpture inside my house, and it has a tree end face in it with animated eyes. It also has about a dozen glass fairy bottles hanging from the branches. All the fairy bottles have neopixel lights inside, and they're all connected to each other. So I can control them with this little panel on the oak tree trunk. I made 4 different pewter icons to mimic the 4 seasons. So I have a candle flicker flame for autumn, or I can change it and I get a nice beautiful rainbow for summer, and I have a winter and spring animation as well. I started out as a kids entertainer. I used to do princess parties for little girls, and I would dress up like the Little Mermaid, and I couldn't go in the pool with the kids, and that was just unacceptable. So I made my very first swimmable Mermaid Tail. It was probably about 10 years ago, and ever since then it's been my favorite kind of performance. I love performing for kids and for adults and everybody in the pool with my tail on. This is my Mermaid Glimmer Tail, and she is made of neoprene and paint and lots of jewels and sparkles, and she has 180 addressable LED lights inside of her. That means I can program the colors for the lights to do all kinds of different animations and different colors and brightnesses and that sort of thing, which is a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. I love being able to just change colors. I really like making my own stuff, so I really love this tail. I also have 2 other tails that I made. I made a Ariel style tail, which is green, and it has a blue monofin in there that I collaborated with Mermaid Pearly May. And then I have a tail that is inspired by Elsa from Frozen. So when Frozen came out, I just loved that character so much that I made an Elsa, what if Elsa turned into a mermaid? So I made a tail that looks like Elsa maybe had turned into a mermaid and was swimming in the ocean. When you find something that you're passionate about, and you find some community that you can connect with on such a deep level, where you just have so much in common with all these other wonderful people that are just as excited about, as you are, about magic, and about dressing up, and about making people happy, then I really feel like that is the truest, realest thing in the world. Thank you so much for coming and swimming with me today.